Le Nissan Kick-Play 2025 a beaucoup de plus. Apple CarPlay intégré pour jouer vos tunes préférées, des fonctions avancées de sécurité, un rendement énergétique remarquable, puis même la petite odeur de char neuf qu'on aime tant. Tout ça en plus pour moins. Le Nissan Kick Play 2025 est le véhicule neuf le plus abordable au Québec. Achetez-le à partir de seulement 22 774 $, incluant un rabais à l'achat comptant de 2 600 $. Profitez de cette offre avantageuse chez votre concessionnaire dès maintenant. Jusqu'au 2 mars, des conditions s'appliquent. Détails chez Nissan.
Let's bring David Heurtel into the mix on the Elias Macko Show. Former Quebec Liberal Cabinet Minister, counsel at Fasken, and of course, political analyst extraordinaire. Joins us every couple of weeks on Monday to do just that. David, welcome back to the show.
Good to be with you, Elias.
First things first, David, I have breaking news, and this is a bombshell in media, and in the United States, it all has to do with politics as well. This just coming out. Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News, effective immediately. This is a Fox press release just released that Tucker Carlson will exit the network. He will not get a final show. He will not get a chance to say, quote-unquote, goodbye to his viewers. Fox saying that Tucker Carlson's last program was Friday, April 21st. David, I don't know if you want to add anything to that. I mean, it is a bit of a bombshell media-wise, politics-wise, especially in the U.S.
Absolutely. Tucker Carlson was the host of the most watched program on Fox News. Unless we get other types of information, which right now we do not have on the cause, you can't help but saying there's a direct cause-to-effect relation with the Dominion settlement last week, $787.5 million, the largest settlement in a defamation case in legal history. And one of the real causes of that settlement was the leaking of certain text messages from, amongst others, Tucker Carlson saying one thing publicly about Dominion, about Trump, and saying the exact opposite in personal text messages to other Fox hosts and employees. So it'll be very, very interesting, but definitely a bombshell. Tucker Carlson considered one of the most influential commentators on the right, on the Trump MAGA right. So it'll be very interesting to find out the details.
Well, I wonder what happens to the film, the Liberate Canada film now that he was doing. Okay, let's turn our attention to Canada here, David. We talked about this on the Big Five. I also spoke about this with our listeners. The story of Navdeep Bains, who was industry minister, part of the Liberal government that was very vocal about reducing the cost of cell phone bills in this country, leaves politics in January of 2021. There's a 2-year cooling off period, and then weeks after the cooling off period is over, we just find out he gets announced by Rogers, joining Rogers as a bigwig, corporate chief operations officer, something like that, at Rogers. What are your thoughts here, David? Because you've been in politics. You also want to make a livelihood after you leave politics. What do you think about stories like this?
Well, there it is. I mean, the fact is you have to balance the right of someone to make a living and earn a living after politics. Now, that's why there is a 2-year cooling off. I had to go through the same thing. I had a 2-year cooling off. On the federal side, it's cooling off in terms of accepting of a job that entails a relationship that you were aware of and you may have worked on when you were in politics. And the Quebec rules, actually, I had to submit to the Quebec legislation. I can't, to this day, I still can't accept a job with a corporation that I interacted directly and had personal knowledge of a specific file.
Oh, still.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. So my 2-year cooling off was about lobbying directly the government. Now, that prohibition is 5 years on the federal side. So I don't want to get too technical here. Yeah. But the fact that Navdeep Bains is accepting the job here with a company that he personally regulated as minister, of course, is raising a lot of questions. But the other piece, and it's not directly having to do with this Bains announcement with Rogers is the fact that it's another drop in that bucket on ethics issues with the Trudeau government. So in and of itself, we can have a discussion about these politicians that directly regulated certain corporations and then after a few years become highly paid executives with these corporations. Of course, this raises ethical questions, but you have, as you said correctly, you have to balance it out with somebody's right to earn a living. You can't shut someone out completely from an industry that that person knows. But at the same time, I think the bigger problem here is after 8 years of Trudeau governments having to deal with continuous ethics issues and, of course, what's going on with the Trudeau Foundation and more revelations this morning in La Presse and of course, China, and we could go down the list.
Yeah.
We Charity, Aga Khan, SNC Lavalin, et cetera, et cetera. This becomes a bigger thing because of the appearance that this government feels lax with regards to ethics issues. So it doesn't look good.
David, I have to wrap here, but I want to throw this at you. It was just earlier this month where more eyebrows were raised about John Horgan, the former premier of British Columbia. What is he doing now? He's working for a BC coal company. And he once served as the BC NDP's energy and mining critic. David, let me ask you this. You were environment minister in Quebec. If a coal company comes to you with a lot of dollar bills, what do you say?
Well, again, I think, I understand the way you're presenting it, and of course it's going to raise questions. But the fact is, and let's be clear about this and a bit level-headed, Quebec, BC, Canada, all of our economies are hugely dependent on the exploitation of natural resources. Without oil and gas, without mining, there is no Canadian economy. There's no Quebec economy, and there's no BC economy. There's no Ontario economy. This is a big piece of what Canada is. Now, if a coal company, now I don't know the specifics of John Horgan's deal, but if a coal company hires a noted environmentalist, it's kind of not necessarily a bad thing if that company decides to shift its practices and work as sustainable as it can be in terms of environmental and climate change measures.
It's, you know what, David, you're right. You wonder how a coal company can make that shift, but you're right. You wonder how he will be advocating in his position. Hey, it is always great talking politics to David. We could talk forever, but I got a Canadian senator coming up next.
Always a pleasure, Elias. Take care.